welcome to this week's episode of the Fake Racers podcast. On this week's episode, Joe and Davey will talk about the expanded Daytona 500 entry list, recap the Chili Bowl, as well as look ahead to the Rolex 24-hour this weekend's Roar Before the 24 qualifying event, as well as the 24 hours the last week of the month. Now, without further ado, here's Joe and Davey. And welcome, Fake Racers Podcast, episode number 15? You already heard the intro. We're going to try to do things a little bit nicer for you at home. But, as always, I'm Joe. He is...
Davey.
Yeah.
Hazard. That's me.
Davey. But, yeah, Chili Bowl happened this last weekend, Davey. It was a fun time watching. You know, it took them 3 hours to prepare the track. Meant we could watch the end of it since we were both participating in USORL, me broadcasting you getting flung through the air.
It's true. It's true. This did happen.
Kyle Larson won.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote, do we care?
I think we care. I don't think we don't care. It's Kyle Larson winning a dirt race. And yes, it's the Chili Bowl. It's a big deal. But I mean, it was kind of noticeable, the lull in excitement that everyone had this year compared to previous years with the Chili Bowl for some reason. I don't understand why.
Probably less people. COVID.
Yeah, I guess. It's just crazy because, like, the whole week leading up to it, it was pretty big. And then main event day rolled around. It was like just it felt like another prelim night. It was weird. It was really weird. Like, honestly, like, the Snowball Derby had crazy hype. And, like, the race was a big deal. And it's not really that much more of exciting an event, you know? It was interesting how this year was with that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this year being the you know what I mean?
No, I get what you mean. Yeah, I figured maybe even a little more excitement. Mav TV showed the B and A main for free on Facebook, which I think they probably should have done a better job about marketing that. I think more people would have watched it, and more people watch, more people interact with it, more people on Twitter. There are a couple stories. But...
I have a thing actually real quick about that.
Go ahead.
What do you think about the crazy rate that was charged? It wasn't
that it was a crazy rate, it's that they made you buy the whole year.
Yeah.
So it was like $170 for Flow Racing or Lucas Oil TV, which I guess is becoming Mav TV Plus because they've always been this. Was it Flow? Yeah. Was it Flow Racing?
I think it was Flow Racing.
What
do you think about that?
Dude, anytime you put a big price tag on grassroots racing, you know, big air quotes, and then people start complaining about, well, nobody goes to the short track, nobody goes to the dirt track, nobody goes to these places. Yeah, nobody goes to these places because you're not able to market them on Twitter, because you have everything behind a paywall. I mean, look at what was it called, Fans Choice TV, before NBC kind of bought the rights to it and then put it behind a paywall with Track Pass. I bought Track Pass last year because I watched a lot of Fans Choice. I wanted to watch Berlin Speedway, which is on the other side of the state. I can't get out there every week. I wanted to try to keep up with it. COVID happens, and now I'm kind of just like meh on it. But that was only $40 a year, and you got a lot of content with that. Now, I don't know how much Flow Racing has. I'm assuming they have more content, because they're probably. You would hope so. You would hope so, right? But things like the World of Outlaws. World of Outlaws doesn't have a television partner, right? So that's a big deal. I mean, ARCA has a television partner, for Christ's sake. All ARCA races are on TV, and. When you listen to dirt people, they talk about World of Outlaws like it's crazy. It's the biggest, and it is. It is the biggest stage, right? It is.
It is.
That's not to say it's not, but I don't know if it's networks, if it's networks, if it's the actual series. They don't market themselves good enough. I mean, look at Tony Stewart with SRX. They have a TV contract with CBS now.
Already.
Is that big CBS, over the air CBS, or is that going to be CBS Sports Network and then some of the races showing tape delayed? I'm not sure on that. I'm sure that information's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would assume it's probably big CBS because I think it's only like it's what 7 or 8 races. So that probably the contract wasn't that expensive for them to get like a block of Saturday night programming
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the summer when baseball on. Yeah, I hate paywalls, especially ones that are steep.
Yeah,
I think
it's interesting, especially like because we kind of came from content like what was Fans Choice before it was Fans Choice? It was like the short track website or whatever. What was it? It was like you could watch like it was where the Pinty's races were
yeah,
broadcasted.
that's what Fans Choice was. It was. I don't remember what it was called before that, but that's what it.
Yeah, yeah. But it was free. It was
Yeah,
like you didn't have to pay. You signed up and you got to watch Pinty's races. You got to watch Thompson local races. You got to watch the icebreaker at Thompson. Those are the races that I watched. Like you have to watch racing all over the place, and it was free. There was just ads and stuff every once in a while at the beginning and stuff like that,
which who
which is
cares?
crazy. It's
I mean,
crazy.
people are watching YouTube videos. They're watching this video, or they're listening on Spotify. If you're watching YouTube videos or you're listening to Spotify, you're probably getting ads every, depending on what it is. If you're watching a bunch of YouTube videos, you're getting an ad on every video except ours because that's how we roll. Not because we don't have enough views. Hey, share us. But shameless plugs. They never hurt. But yeah, I think the moment you put something behind a paywall. Now the Chili Bowl is different, right? It used to be pay-per-view for just the race itself, which, by all means, that's a big race. It's one of the biggest races outside of, the Kings Royal and all that, all the different
Yeah.
races at Eldora, Knoxville Nationals, that type of stuff. But it's a big race. It's a marquee event, pay-per-view for that. But the fact that you kind of lump it in, now it used to be pay-per-view for like $40 or $50 for that race, but now there's people that want to just watch that race, now $170. But hey, you get more content. That's where I think you still have to have that option for people, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they just want to watch the Chili Bowl, they don't want to, they're NASCAR fans. They want to see Chase Elliott. They want to see Larson, Seabell, Chase Briscoe, Justin Allgaier flip 100 times. They want to see that stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't like that. That's how they kind of went with it this year. And
yeah, that was kind of crappy. They probably could have even lowered the price prior to the Chili Bowl, advertised Chili Bowl pricing, and have probably gotten more customers, more money, and more repeat customers because of it.
well, it's like
But
iRacing, right?
alas,
iRacing always has new member discounts for crazy, like half off. Like that's the
they
type
never
of
have they never have returning member discounts,
exactly
and that's
because
what bothers me.
they have to get you hooked. But
Yeah.
yeah, the big story that I wanted to talk about, Jason McDougal. He drove all the way from the I to the D. Only reason
Impressive.
only reason he didn't make it out of the D main was because got dumped last corner. So that was fun to watch. But I wrote under this, those are the stories that matter. It's not Kyle Larson winning, it's not Christopher Bell winning, it's not, those aren't big in terms of storytelling, but when you have something special like that and you bring up the money and now you don't have it because you've put it behind a big paywall, that was a beautiful story to tell.
Yeah.
That could get
And
people hooked.
You really only heard about it if you paid for the broadcast or you heard about it on Twitter.
Exactly.
Which, it's just not. It's
a crapshoot.
Yeah, it's like people want to hear that stuff. Like you said, like that's a story everyone wants to see.
Exactly. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing. But congrats to McDougal. I think he got a Tech Silver Crown ride, so I don't know what that. That's it's a big deal, I'm assuming. Congrats to him, and just stay away from TRD.
Call back to a previous episode on that one.
Hey, go listen to that one. Look at him back in my background. He's just all.
Bristol's having a good time.
He's laying on his back. He's getting comfy. Moving on though. I wanted to take a lot of this episode, and it's kind of where our title is on the episode, to talk about Daytona 500. We're finally starting to get entry lists. Davey's rolling up his sleeves because we're about to get into a lot of it.
This is serious business right here.
There's some announcements about guys full-time, some, one race deals, some... We're just going to go through them all. that have been announced in the last week or so even a month or so, possibly. I don't remember. We haven't talked about this type of file, Davey. So
Yeah, we're coming back to it. We're coming back to it. This is the best time. This is the best time for it, though. This is when all the moves are actually happening. And it's not just
Exactly.
speculation.
Start off with this. Cody Ware, he's going to drive full time for Rick Ware Racing in I forget what the sponsor is, but that's like a Nurtec or something that they unveiled at that random golf club a few months ago. He took time away from NASCAR. He's the weeb. What else? I know the USORL boys probably love him.
He's good for content.
Exactly.
Definitely good for content.
Returning full time. Ran LMP2 over in Asia. Last couple of years, had a battled depression and anxiety. But overall, I'm just happy for the guy to get a full time ride, even if it, people. Yeah, I always talk about people. They always like to discount things, like we do it with Austin Dillon driving for his, right? Cody Ware's just driving for his dad. Now, there's a difference between driving for Rick Ware Racing and Richard Childress Racing. Bear that in mind. But good for Cody Ware. Hopefully, he gets a good run at Daytona because they are locked in based on the charter system.
Yeah.
Woo!
Charters.
That'll be a common theme as we keep going through these drivers. You got anything to say? Or just
on Cody Ware? Happy for Cody Ware. Cody Ware deserves it. He's a cool guy. I don't think they expect a whole lot out of that team, but hopefully they can keep it going the whole year, not experience too many issues, not get into too many incidents, and maybe get rid of that Rick Ware Racing monkey
stench.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be running
the monkey off their back.
They'll be running in the 24 too. Their LMP2 car and the wheel. And yeah, I mean, congrats. Where this is the one that I think you're gonna like to talk about, so I'll let you talk about it, Davey. Ty Dillon announces he's gonna be in the 96 for Gaunt Brothers. It's something that's been talked about for a while now. On the Twitterscape, and I think I just thought that's what was happening. It's for the 500. Gaunt Brothers also announcing that they're going to just do the super speedways road courses this year. They haven't said who's going to be in the card for those races. I would think Ty's probably going to be in the card for those races if he can bring sponsorship. I would think they'd want to have the same guy in the car. Black Rifle Coffee Bass Pro Shops on board for the 500. So you're the Gaunt Brothers Racing guy, 96 door. I know it's because it's Parker Klingerman, but this is obviously the right move, right?
Oh yeah, for that team, yes. They strategically ran only the races they felt comfortable running when they were part-time with Parker, and I think it's no secret that they got stretched very thin very quickly when Daniel went there for a full season last season.
Another thing missing the 500, which was like most money you'll make.
Big deal. Big fucking deal. Yeah. I think it's pretty obvious it's going to be Ty Dillon in the car. He's going to be bringing funding, but the small part of me hopes that it's still Parker Kligerman. I know he had a great relationship with that team. He ran with them for a couple seasons, along with DJ Kennington, who ran some races. Parker had some decent runs in that car. Didn't miss a race.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Parker can bring the Lux Bean sponsorship up with him, or hope maybe get some funding, get himself a seat for one of these races at a road course or something, because that's where he shines. And Ty can get the super speedways. But that's my hope. I'm not going to speculate too much. I think it's pretty safe to say Ty Dillon will have the funding to run all the races that they want to run. But
I don't know about that. I would disagree, because if he had all the funding to run more races, wouldn't you think he'd be in like a extra RCR car or extra, Trackhouse car or something like that? If that was the case,
because I think for the races that they want to run, he'll have the funding for those. Okay. Not necessarily for the season.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying for the season. I'm saying, if he wanted to go race Talladega, Daytona, road courses. Because, like, when I see that they're saying they're only going to run super speedways and road courses, I immediately think, okay, they're going to get Parker in the car for the road. And they're going to put Ty at the super speedways, even though, you can put either or. honestly,
Mhm.
because Ty's been shown to be a decent road racer too.
This is fair, yeah.
So you know, it's a good move for Ty because he gets to branch out from RCR. He gets to kind of get away from it a little bit. It's
Mm.
important to note too. He's his management. I think he's with the I don't KHI. It's Kevin Harvick Incorporated. I don't know if that's what it's called. But that's Kevin Harvick's.
There is a name for it, but yeah, Kevin Harvick's agency, yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
not with the one that Austin Dillon owns. Does Dillon
Interesting.
guys? So that's another thing to note about. I also think he wants to get over to Toyota. Because there could be seats opening up Xfinity. There could be seats, 23XI or 2311. I gotta say 2311. Come on, Joe, you should know how to
Yeah.
read Roman numerals, right? 2311 could. I'm assuming they're gonna open up a second car next year.
Yeah, that's a good idea, especially with Gaunt, because Marty Gaunt actually has a good relationship with TRD and Toyota. So
Exactly, and I think that's the big deal. That's the big deal. Big thing is he's gonna have a really good car at the races they're at. I mean, they showed that right the year before they decided to try to. They kind of got. It felt like they kind of had their arm twisted to run the
yeah,
full season last year.
yeah,
I'm
and there
assuming
just wasn't enough time.
I'm assuming they probably didn't want to do it, but TRD said, "Hey, we'll give you support." So they're like, "Okay, well, we'll have TRD support, so that should be okay." They only
Yeah.
missed the 500, but this race is pretty much once the pandemic. Another thing about Dillon, there's a rumor that he could be in the 2311 car for the Clash because he's eligible since he won stages last year. My thought on that is it's going to give them notes for when they go to, both. If Dillon's in the car for Daytona Road Course, it'll give Gaunt some notes for that race, and it'll give 2311 some notes for that race because they're not going to have a very big notebook going into that. It'll allow them to set up a car and stuff because that's one of the races where they're not going to have practice since they ran the track last year, I believe. So just speculation at this point, but I would not be surprised to see him in the 23 car on that Tuesday night before Daytona 5.
That'd be cool. That'd be pretty cool.
I'd be happy. Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon's a cool guy.
He is. I like Ty Dillon. I came around on Ty Dillon this past season.
I think he kind of gets grouped in with his brother a little too much. So, as you may. We are Ty Dillon driving a Toyota. Moving on. This is this one made me laugh.
Yeah.
I wrote honestly why.
Yeah.
Derrick Cope. Now, nothing against Derrick Cope. Runs a fantastic organization called Starcom Racing, and that's who's preparing this car for him. At 62 years of age, will drive the number 15 car in the Daytona 500. That car is locked into the Daytona 500. Now we're gonna keep going through a bunch of entries, and I think they're all save for one of the entries we're gonna talk about is locked in to the 500. Why? Do you have a good reason?
No idea. I don't know. I mean, he can't be making that much money off of running the 500 like Derrick Cope himself. I don't think it's a money thing. I don't know. I have no idea why Derrick Cope decided to run the 5. I mean, I guess if he wants to, and he has the funding for it.
Well, I just don't get it, right? I don't get it. You won the 500, 62. We saw a horrendous crash last year, so we know it's possible to have a crash like that. Talk about another thing after when we talk about these next two. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. It makes no sense. Yeah. Who would you rather have, Derrick Cope or Michael Annett in your car? Like these are options. They're not the options you actually have, but they could have been options.
Or you have a car that's do we know who's funding it? Like what?
It's a Starcom car, but it's going to be running 15 as part of Rick Ware. I don't know. We just know Derrick Cope is racing in the Daytona 500.
You could put anyone in that car, probably. That car probably is funded. Like, well, you could put anyone. Derrick Cope wants to be. Anyway, let's move on. I'm done with that. I'm done with Derrick Cope. I don't get it.
Spire Motorsports announced that they're going to do a partnership again with Ganassi this year, third straight year in a row. Brings back everybody's little favorite baby, Jamie McMurray.
I'm so happy about that. That's so cool.
With Advent Health on board. So again, Mark's third year of this partnership between the two. They're both Hendrick. They both had Hendrick engines, but Chevy consolidated their engine program, so that doesn't even really matter anymore. Why are you excited though, Davey? Why are you excited?
I'm excited. I like Jamie McMurray. I think Jamie McMurray is an excellent driver. You know, he's done it in a few different cars. He's done it. I've done it in a few different cars, meaning a few different disciplines of racing. He's done really well in sports cars. He's a very good karter. Very established stock car racer. Has won any event you could dream of winning in stock cars. And it's cool. It's cool to see Jamie back. I'd love to know like what he's been doing to prepare, because I don't know if he's even sat in any race car since like
Daytona.
Yeah, I know it's just Daytona.
Jamie McMurray. First time he's strapped into a cup car, he won the damn race. So hey.
That's true. Wow, imagine if Jamie McMurray wins his second 500.
Hey man, Ross Chastain doesn't dive it onto the apron. He probably has a chance to win the Daytona 500 last year. So
it's true. Wait,
in that same car.
That's true. He is in a good car.
Like that's the thing. He's in a good car. He's locked into the field. Doesn't have to worry about qualifying day. Doesn't have to worry about duels, because that's we're gonna talk about that, because that sounds like it's gonna be deal this year.
Yeah, it's a good shot. If he doesn't get wrecked, he'll be there, I think. That's cool.
Yeah. Yay, Jamie McMurray. And we move on again. To, and I'm going to tie these two together. The other car, because there are two cars that Jimmy Johnson was asked to drive and that talked about, I heard, was one of them, and this is the other one, which has been confirmed. 62 car Beard Motorsports out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan. You know that?
Yep. I did not know that, actually.
Yep. My buddy, Garrett Rons, races sometimes with the guy that owns Beard Motorsports, because he races, and like, he has a Hendrick engine.
Fuck. That sounds like racing, yeah.
Hey,
okay.
Hey, better equipment. Noah Gragson, though, in the 62. They haven't announced sponsorship. I'm assuming it's going to be Beard Oil and probably South Point. That's what's on the car. They always just run the super speedways. It's always been a really competitive car at the super speedways. Remember Brendan Gaughan's flip a few years ago at Talladega, where he had a legit shot to win the race in the closing stages. So, Davey's doing research over there. I can see him click, clacking, typing away.
We're good.
What were you looking up?
Nothing.
What were you fact-checking me on?
Nothing. Wasn't fact-checking. We're good.
Huh.
We'll continue with no Gragson talk.
Davey has a slight naughty photo addiction.
Hey! Rude.
I was talking about, like, naughty race cars.
It's true. I was also, fun fact, that was also me confirming my COVID test for tomorrow.
Yeah! Test. Woo! Wear a fucking mask.
It's true.
It's not you.
Wear a mask.
No,
I know. I wear a mask.
Yeah. You can still get it, but,
Yeah. Helps.
I haven't gotten it. I go to college.
And if you think you might be sick and you wear a mask, that's even better, because you're protecting other people, and you care about other people when you do that. And who doesn't want to care about other people?
Blair self-centered. Got him. Anyways.
Noah Gragson.
You want to tie it? Are you trying to say something by tying it in there?
No. I don't think I need to tell anybody that Noah Gregson's kind of an idiot, but sorry, Noah.
He'll be trying to make his first Cup Series start. This car is obviously an open entry. I'm sure he will make dual night exciting. Because I don't think he's going to be one of the guys that can get his way in on speed, because the 62 car has been really slow in qualifying. And Brendan Gaughan, memory serves me correctly, all but 1 year has had to race his way in and cool. So Oh, you know.
That said, that car is usually quick in the race.
Yep.
Almost every plate race the 62 runs, it's very, very quick in the race. To a surprising extent, he's very quick in the race.
Well,
I mean, when he got
he'll go a lap down and then he'll be top 5 at the end of the race somehow. You know,
like that time he flipped at Dega, he was running like top 10, top 5 at that point. Like he was running real well.
Now, how much of that was Brendan Gaughan though? You know.
Yeah, because I mean,
Brendan
Brendan Gaughan
Gaughan's
didn't really do what did he do in the super speedways in any other car?
fantastic.
Really?
I don't know. Actually, I would have to look.
Oh, okay. Well, I believed you. You got
I'm just
me.
a good
I
liar.
believed you.
Just a good
I
liar.
believed you. I've been lied to. Yeah. I mean, maybe the car is good. Maybe Brendan Gaughan's an accomplished super speedway racer in Cup. I have no idea.
I think part of it is he's an older guy, a lot more experience when he was kind of knew when to push it, when not to. That's something that I don't think Noah Gragson has right now. That's something you get with age. Something you learn, and maybe he learns this week, or not this week, like 3 weeks away. I just want it back, man. Those commercials that they made,
those were very well done.
They're I was just watching football, and then all of a sudden, you know.
Just... Very good. We should talk about that at the end of
yeah, we will.
Racing talk.
We will. Austin Cindric, it was announced today, will drive the 4th Penske car in the 500. We already knew he was going to run, pretty much we figured out and thought that he would speedways and road courses, at least just the road courses, because Austin Cindric. They announced 33 for some reason. I wrote down double LEO, so that's, I don't know. Well, I guess. Kind of expected it. I don't know what
Cindric, Daytona 500.
Because
we can talk about how cool of an opportunity is all day, but it's a cool opportunity for anyone to get thrown in Daytona 500. So
yeah, but he's in a Penske car. Now they're gonna have 5 cars out there, because that 21 car is pretty much already the 4th Penske car. So they're gonna have 5 cars out there. I think that helps the other guys too. As long as the 33 gets into the 500, which my opinion is he'll probably be one of the guys to qualify his way in on speed on Wednesday. Remember, pole qualifying is Wednesday night at 7 p.m.
That's interesting.
On FS1. It's not on Fox. It's on FS1, even though it was on Fox for all those years. Anyways, I might have a gripe about that, but, we'll talk about it when it's coming up on that week. We'll talk more about that, but, yeah, I don't know. Like you said, it's just kind of cool.
Cool, I guess.
Another guy, I kind of feel the same way, but, David Reagan's going to be in the 36 for the 500. That's another, sounds like it's going to be, it's the same thing. The same thing.
It's like what we've had. Like,
it sounds like that's an open team, but last year they did a partnership with Rick Ware to get that car, a charter, so I don't know if that's maybe the way they're going to go with it, but it looks like that will be an open team this year. Now, this last one, this is the one I actually want to spend some time talking about. Mark it down on our sheet. Time, so I can put timestamp. Professional. Ryan Preece and the 37 car. Now, over the offseason, they had a charter. There was a clause in the contract when they bought the charter that the guy that originally owned the charter could get the charter back and sold it to Spire. So, it's just legal sassafras, and I like that use of the word sassafras.
It's pretty good.
I don't think that's actually how you use it, but whatever.
I liked it.
Jargon.
Jargon. The racing jargon on this episode has been off the charts.
Ryan Preece will no longer have a charter this year. But that 37 car is, on speed. He had really bad luck last year. But on speed, it's a quick car. I don't know. What would your thought process be going into Speed Week? Is it Speed Month or Speed Week, or is it Speed Weeks still?
I miss Speed Weeks. I think it's Speed Weeks because it's still plural weeks.
It's still because you still have, and it's just this year because you have. Well, no, because Homestead's going to be the second race from now on, probably. So I don't know. I don't know, Davey. I don't know.
I like Speed Weeks.
I like
it's
Speed
still
Weeks.
technically multiple weeks.
But I like calling it Speed Week because it's haha NASCAR dumb. You know, get all those edgy,
dumb NASCAR.
Get all those edgy NASCAR Twitter people.
Ryan Preece. I mean, we'll get into charters at some point. I think it's
that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about it in a minute, but
right now we're doing it right now.
We'll talk about Ryan Preece, and then we'll talk about charters.
We're talking about Ryan Preece. I mean, I think Ryan Preece will be fast enough to make every race. I think it'll be okay. Ryan Preece is that boy. I think he'll be all right.
Oh yeah.
He might end up in a wreck in the race, but
hey man. Yeah, I think he'll be in. They might even find a way to get a charter before they start. So have full-time sponsorship for that car. But we saw in 2016 not having a charter with Blaney and Wood Brothers wasn't necessarily a huge deal. They made every single race. Yeah,
I think it's bad in principle to let that happen, because what does that tell the sponsors of these race cars?
Go sponsor a shitty car for less money because it's a race.
Exactly. and we see a lot of times sponsors of those shittier cars, they don't stick around.
Yeah.
Almost never. I almost never.
Well, and just to wrap up, Stenhouse won the pole last year. My assumption is the 37 car will probably just have the same setup and probably fastest open cars make the race.
By the way, I did not realize, and I think it's pure. I think this is a Daytona thing, because I think Daytona 500 is a much bigger deal than any other race, obviously. But like, I was at Daytona for qualifying, the single car qualifying last season. I did not realize how much fun qualifying was to be at. What a blast! That was such a blast.
Fuck, Davey. Qualifying's awesome.
I didn't realize how good it would be in person.
I love single car qualifying. You want to know why?
Especially Daytona. Well, I feel like especially at Daytona because
Michigan, perfect.
No. Because at Daytona you truly can't tell. Like at other tracks you can kind of tell when a car's slower, but at Daytona you really cannot tell.
What other tracks have you watched qualifying at, Davey?
I really think Daytona is the best one, especially for the 500, because it's a big deal. Everyone's watching the speed charts. Everyone's waiting for the pylon. It's seriously, I think for the 500, it's the best. I think 500 qualifying, as far as NASCAR goes, is the best qualifying. Just like I would call Indy 500 qualifying
the best. That's different.
It's the best qualifying in the world.
Don't you dare mention Indy 500 qualifying with NASCAR qualifying at all. It's different. It's completely different.
I know it's different, but I'm just saying.
Not even the same sentence, Davey.
I'm just saying it's as an example of good qualifying.
You're getting, I don't know what this is, but you're getting this.
I think Daytona 500 qualifying is the best qualifying in NASCAR.
I think single car qualifying. Is this the guy? I guess we're just going to go here. We're going to go here. We're going to talk about single car qualifying for some reason.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
I love single car qualifying.
Actually, no. We'll wrap up the Daytona 500 car thing. Actually, you know what? There's a lot in there. We'll come back to that. There's a lot there.
We're structured. Yeah.
We'll come back to it.
We're here. We're just rocking and rolling.
I think people want to hear about qualifying, though. I think this is important.
I love single car qualifying. Now, as a kid, we didn't go to the races. We only went on Friday because Friday
less money.
Yeah,
I know that feeling. I spent most of my life only ever going to Thursday practice in July and preseason testing in January in Daytona. That was my life.
So, I'm probably biased, but screw it. I'm still gonna make the argument. I don't know if you recall seeing it, but it was 2018 or 19. And It was the August MIS race, and Keselowski got the pole, and immediately he crosses the line, right? And everyone's looking at the tower because they just have a big scoring pylon at MIS.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment that number flashes up at the top of the board, just screams. And they did an awesome job capturing it on the broadcast. And when I say awesome job, I watched that video back, and it sounded like it was just like it was in the moment. Like, it was loud. I had never heard it so loud during a qualifying run, except for when Dale Jr. would top 5. Qualifying in person's fun. I like qualifying. I watch qualifying on TV. If they're practicing, I'll watch it. I don't,
I like watching practice.
I like looking at lap times, hearing about, adjustments and stuff. So that's when they say, oh, let's eliminate practice and qualifying. I kind of get sad because I grew up, that's what we only could go to, and that's what I like watching. I'm an engineer student. Like the thing that has a lot of engineering involved in it and a lot of...
I don't care about qualifying on TV, but...
No, but that my point is, people made it out like it was this boring thing. The only reason they switched it was because it took too long. That's why they switched it. Because you'd have qualifying sessions that would end up going 2.5 hours because they just forever. Well, since they did the round thing, they got it. Oh wait, we can do this like an hour and a half round. Car qualifying, you only get 1 lap. Do it in an hour. How many people actually took 2 laps, Dave? Time, 3, 4, depending on the track, but
yeah, it was really track dependent. Yeah,
if you only told them to take 1 lap, what was your problem? Wow, look at that, we did it. I don't know. In defense of qualifying, keep it. Stop trying to do group qualifying because it's dumb and it adds unneeded stuff. Is it quicker? Sure. Are there more cars on track? Yeah. But part of qualifying is, hey, one guy's on track. This is his time to showcase his car and his team. Go ahead, Davey.
Group qualifying at road courses.
Yeah, because it takes so long. But
and it makes sense.
Yeah. But
makes sense.
My point is,
I know what you mean. I agree.
Don't get rid of qualifying. Stop that. That's a dumb...
I even liked group qualifying up until it became a draft fest, and then we would go to Daytona.
Oh, here's the wreck.
Yeah, it was kind of annoying. And there were probably ways to fix group qualifying that weren't involving moving the package back to a raceable package or other things that we could complain about all day. But the point is, if we're gonna have what we have now, single car qualifying is the way to go.
Remember when they did the group qualifying for the 500 that one year after they originally said we're not going to do that for the 500 and we're going to keep 500 qualifying intact? And then they were like, no.
Nah.
And then Clint Boyer wrecked and had a big mad.
Big mad. It's Clint Boyer. Who cares?
Big mad. But
okay.
All right, back to
that didn't take too long. That was fine.
I don't even remember what time we started it at. Oh well. For the 500 right now, it's looking like 46 to 48 cars. I think we have 46 confirmed entries, or 45, and then I think a 46 is like the New York Steakhouse Elite. Ever that did that 7 car with JJ Yeley a few years ago. They're gonna be running the 44. It looks like from their website. Let's talk about charters, because this is where charters are big dumb, in my opinion. It's Daytona 500, right?
Yep.
Brickware Racing is gonna have 4 cars in the Daytona 500, right?
Yeah.
So, out of these drivers I'm gonna name, 6 of them will not make it. David Reagan, Austin Cindric. I don't even think I have 6 drivers to name. David Reagan, Austin Cindric, Ryan Preece, Noah Gragson, Ty Dillon. That's 6. I don't know. I don't remember the numbers, man. I'd have to look it up. But there are going to be really good cars that are going to miss this race because of charters. Charters are stupid. Charters were only invented, in the words of to give Rob Kaufman early retirement. All my homies hate Rob Kaufman. I'm telling you, they don't like him. Remember when he sold? Remember when he sold his share of MWR after he pretty much caused them to, lose Napa and then fucked off to Ganassi? Heyo. Anyways, charter system. I hate it. I just hate it. I think it's dumb.
Shitty. It's shitty. I mean, you have something that
It,
and we talked about Indy 500 qualifying. It's like part of the fun of Indy 500 qualifying is, all these guys will show up and someone's not going to make the race, and it could be anybody. Fernando Alonso, one of the biggest names of Formula One, one of the biggest names of motorsports, a legend of the sport, in my opinion, misses the Indy 500.
Yep.
It's a big deal. It's a big story. That's important, and we kind of miss out on those moments because everyone's locked in, and it's not, what's. I think it's and I've heard this argument for the Indy 500. I think it's insulting to the people who showed up and made the sacrifices to come and race, who showed up and even gave their life to race the Daytona 500, or tried to race Daytona 500 and gave their life to do that. It's disrespectful. Those people put in gave everything literally to run the Daytona 500, and now you can buy your way into it. At the end of the day, Daytona 500 is a big deal. It's a big race. It's in a way it's kind of a little bit bigger than NASCAR because it's so important. I think it's borderline insulting to the people who gave everything to try and run this race, or gave their everything running this race, to just buy your way in.
To counter that, and I don't agree with this whatsoever, but got to play devil's advocate here. You could just buy owner's points, and that was the system. I mean, there were more spots available though too. When we got the charter system, we reduced the size from 4 to 3. Now, was that going to happen naturally? Maybe, but not for the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
So, post-pandemic, right, too, or still pandemic, post-craziness. Sorry, Davey, you're.
Thank you.
Welcome. But you're feeling better. Look at him. Look at how spry he is.
I feel good. I just keep testing positive, and we would rather not.
They keep saying I'm sick. Damn it! But I'm not sick.
I think it's more my employer would rather not risk getting more people sick and being in the same situation for another month. Really? Which I get it, and it gives me more time to. I've been sanitizing my house and doing laundry and such. Making sure everything is nice and clean. So if I am not contagious, which I meet the requirements to not be contagious anymore, I just keep testing positive. If I'm actually not contagious, I will be for sure not contagious, and I won't have any bits of the virus left in the house. So that's the plan.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
What we're striving for. Corona-free zone.
Exactly.
I even say that on here. I guess we'll see. We'll see.
I think it tags it for information on COVID or something.
Well, you just won't. Davey's sick. Got COVID. Had COVID. He's feeling better now. It's been a couple weeks though. Not just the flu.
No, it's not. It sucks. Maybe when we do our little free recap at the end, I'll talk about it. But it sucks. Don't get it. Wear a mask. Seriously.
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
Thanks, Davey. Yeah, I don't like the charter. I don't like charters.
I don't think anyone with a brain likes the charter system.
It was the solution to franchises, right? We want to give teams franchises. We want to let them have a stake in the sport. You gave them that. They had the RTA.
I hate franchises too, so.
Oh, look, we have the RTA. It kind of used to work
I hate all that.
It kind of used to work like relegation. If you're a shitty cup team, you'd have to go back down to the Busch Series. Or if you're a good Busch team, hey, let's open up a cup, Oh, we're bad in Busch? Oh, go back to trucks or, Busch North
As a fan
or whatever.
Of soccer across multiple continents and countries, yeah, that's the ideal way to do sports, but so we can just buy our way to the top level and chill and not care.
And then say we're just building a team when we're actually just trying to get money. And trying to make it which to their credit, a lot of these teams that Rick Ware Racing, Inspire, and that get. I don't know if this is actually what they're doing. They could be really trying to build and field good cars. I'm not sure. I don't want to make that. All right, there's a,
I see it. I see it.
I don't know why or how, but it's buzzing. It was a fly. I don't know, or a gnat. What was I talking about? I get distracted too.
Charters.
Charters
and,
bad.
Yep.
They don't work. They don't work. They don't do it because these
don't.
teams, what they're doing is they're trying to make the business model a good one, positive one, which, power to them. But the way they're doing it is, okay, we're going to, buy the cheapest stuff we can. We're going to find the most expensive sponsor we can because, hey, look, we're in the race. No matter what, your brand's going to be on TV. Now, it might be on TV because we wreck, and then you're going to get bad PR, or it might be on TV because we get in front, or, we pit from the third lane up off the track, or, in front of the leader. I don't know. I don't know why, but, or people will see your logo, and we're in the race, and we get this money, and all that.
Yeah.
I just don't like Charters. Bad.
Yeah, bad.
I don't think there's any more we could really say about that, though.
Yeah. Especially, it's hard to talk about that from the outside.
Yeah, that's like
know what we know.
Like an insider trading type thing. Like, we don't really... I mean, hell, there isn't a good way to track all of them except for, Bob Pockris on Twitter does a good job of like, hey, this is where all these charters are, and that's like kind of how we know. But it's not like he really has that information. He's just getting it from from his notes, and it's not like
from his people.
Like NASCAR should have on their website, kind of like the NFL does, like, hey, look, these are all our franchises. They should have to do that with all the teams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want a franchise system, there isn't any other sport in North America, too, that has 36 franchises. The NFL has 32. The NHL's about to have 32. Baseball and basketball have 30. Oh.
Damn, yeah.
Hey-o.
I should think about that. It's crazy.
And they probably make more money because they're not, turning up so money every week. But
yeah.
I digress. Let's talk about something else that NASCAR runs and is trying to do something stupid with. I don't want to be the show. I don't want to be the people that say, "Oh, NASCAR sucks." I mean,
we're not.
I don't think we are.
I don't think it's really that much of a surprise that people think charter system sucks. It's not exactly uncommon for people to dislike the package, if we both kind of do.
You more than me.
And we've expressed positivity about things. I express massive positivity about the next gen car all the time.
All right, well, let's be positive here. I'm gonna try my best. I won't be able to do it. Roar Before the 24th this weekend. Make sure you tune in on Track Pass. Again, you got to pay for that, but hey, you can tune into it. And you have to get like the $60 version of it instead of the $40 NASCAR version to get the IMSA stuff. But hey, it's fun. We talked about a lot this show, but I don't really know.
USORL to talk about.
I know. I don't really know what the storylines are. I know Jimmy's in it. I know Chase Elliott's going to be there. I know, I know these NASCAR names. AJ's going to be there. Yeah. I'm sure I'm forgetting. I think Austin Dillon's going to be there. There's a bunch of guys.
Actually, I checked the driver rankings, the FIA driver rankings. There's a lot of NASCAR drivers that are FIA ranked.
Oh, really?
And ready to drive sports cars. Yeah, Kaz Grala, one of them. Christopher Bell.
That makes sense.
Austin Cindric.
There's
a lot of NASCAR drivers, a lot of young NASCAR drivers. Sam Mayer was one of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You have people like some IndyCar drivers that are silver ranked, amateur ranked.
Well,
Yeah, Oliver Askew.
Well,
Indy Lights champion Oliver Askew, Santino Ferrucci.
They haven't done much.
Amateur ranked drivers,
They haven't done much.
Yeah,
I don't know what the inner workings are, but I do know this. They're running a 100-minute race on Sunday to determine the qualifying order for the Rolex 24. The 24-hour race. They're going to run another 100-minute race to...
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I actually didn't really even hear much about that.
Yeah, it was a big thing a couple months ago.
I'm gonna Google it.
Like the Motul 100 or however you say that company's name that's anonymous with sports car racing.
Moto Polo Award 100.
Yeah. So,
Excuse me.
you know.
Let's see. Hold on.
Is it a bad idea to get people to the track? No. But I think, oh, look, we're racing instead of just qualifying for 15 minutes.
I always forget how many support series there are.
Yeah.
Crap, man.
I think the LMP2 challenges or whatever.
Yeah, the prototype challenge.
Yeah.
There's an MX5 Cup race, and then there's the Michelin Pilot challenge.
Yay!
Interesting.
100-minute qualifying race. I don't like that. I think
that's weird.
You're on a 24-hour race. I just look at it, hey, there's more chance that we wreck a race car. Honestly, that's what I see it as.
Yeah.
Or we have weird. But on the opposite hand, hey, look, we're really trying to drive right now, so we're going to push all our equipment to the brink. Maybe something breaks, and then we know, hey, maybe we shouldn't push this part. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just, that's weird.
Davey doesn't like it, but I don't think he knows what to say, guys.
I just don't know why would you run why change?
Because NASCAR.
It's just weird.
Just weird.
Weird.
That's what it is, folks. Just weird.
Should I real quick? You should vamp, and I should look up like an entry list for this. Hold
on. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
You don't know what vamping means?
No, vamping
means just talking, just filling in the no dead air. We can't have dead air on a podcast. We have to talk the whole time and not have any breaks at all.
Davey always yells at me, or we'll have like these awkward moments, and I think they're great. And I think they show. Okay, he doesn't yell. He wags his finger at me and says, "Oh, you shouldn't leave those little pieces in. You should edit them out."
I don't yell.
And I say, "No, they show we're human." My thing is, not any better. We're not any different than you, the fans at home.
I don't yell.
Davey doesn't yell.
I don't yell.
Davey doesn't yell. Davey, do you know how to yell? Yes, he does. Watch his Twitch stream this weekend. Charlotte Roval, USORL.
I'm finally looking at the storyline. So obviously Wayne Taylor Racing has they're running the Acura, and they basically inherited the Penske lineup more or less.
Yeah.
Ricky Taylor, Elia, Rossi, and Felipe Albuquerque. Who else do we got? Bourdais is going to be in the Caddy. Scott Dixon's going to be racing again. Chase Elliott's going to be on a team with Felipe Nasser.
Oh, so he's in the wheel-in
Mike
car.
Conway. Yeah, he's in the wheel-in car. I think Jimmy Johnson's kind of been covered, but Kamui Kobayashi, Simon Pagenaud, and Mike Rockenfeller. Solid lineup. That's going to be interesting. Ooh, this one's fun. The Shank car has Dane Cameron, AJ Allmendinger, Juan Pablo Montoya, and then a guy I'm not going to ask.
That would be the one I would be like, hey.
Yeah, that's
that would be my driver lineup.
I don't know who the France driver is. Olivier Pla? I don't know. I'm not a sports car guy, unfortunately. I like sports cars, but I don't know all the names. There's so many goddamn names in sports car racing. Regardless, the AJ Allmendinger, Dane Cameron, and Juan Pablo Montoya cars kind of goated. Holy crap. Yeah, that's nuts.
And it's Meyer Shank too, and I think that's the other Penske Acura.
Yep, that's the other Acura.
It's a fun field. It is a fun
field. I'm looking at the lineup right now. Sorry,
I'm excited for the Rolex. I'm always excited for the Rolex just because it's like, okay, it's almost time for racing to start.
Yeah.
But it's like
big GT. Let's check the GTD class.
Rolex 24 doesn't like kick off racing for me. I don't know why.
It does for me.
I guess because it's like a special race too. It's kind of like Daytona 500 doesn't really kick off racing season, although it feels a little bit more like it because there's all the the races leading up to the Clash and the rules for it at least. But it doesn't feel like racing season. Second race, which is also at Daytona, so I'm sure it's not going to feel like the racing season 3 until we get to Homestead. But that's also in Florida, so Speed.
Zach Veach in the Vassar Sullivan Lexus. That's pretty cool.
That's good.
I'm glad he got a good ride in sports car racing. Zach Veach is actually a really cool guy. He had gonna plug the Dinner with Racers podcast. He had a great podcast on Dinner with Racers and a great follow-up podcast because they did phone interviews with drivers they wanted to catch up with or drivers that had a lot of in their career change. Zach Veach obviously lost his ride after that Dinner with Racers interview.
Is that why he lost it?
No. It's not why he lost it, but he lost it afterwards. So
after the first one.
Yeah, the first one was like outdated immediatally.
Yeah,
as soon as it came out.
That's what we call
Colt Herta is going to be in the Turner BMW. That's a good ride. He's going to be with Bill Auberlen. Wow, that's pretty good. It's cool. I love the Rolex 24, man. There's so many cool drivers in this race. Anyway.
Rolex 24 talk put Bristol to sleep behind me.
Yeah, sorry, Bristol.
Look at him. He's like out.
He really is. He has not moved.
Sometimes like that. And he's producing back there though. He's working hard. Working hard or hardly working.
Wow, decent LMP2 class too. Austin Dillon's going to be on the same team as Cody Ware.
Okay, so he's in the Rick Ware car.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I did not know that.
Now
That's pretty cool. I do.
LMP2 can't wait to see one of those cars get run over. It's funny. It's funny because you see the LMP2 car and then you see are they still Daytona what's the
DPI? So
DPI.
It's still Daytona prototypes, but it's
DPI.
It's the real
international
it's the real prototypes. Yeah.
Anyways, I always like seeing those cars passing like the GTD and the GT3 and whatever is there, and then the LMP2 car is like, Well,
there's actually a guy I didn't race karts with him, but he came to Jacksonville a few times in the LMP3 class. Aaron Ori, recognize that name.
Wait, there's an LMP3 class too?
Yep.
How many classes are in this 24?
I just closed the list. Anyway.
5?
It's quite a bit.
But running a 100-mile or 100-minute qualifying race is dumb. I think that's what
agreed.
That's what we're talking about.
I was just doing some reporting on the fly with that one. Hope you guys enjoyed that.
Well, Davey, I want to get some more reporting information from you real quick.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Were you released from the infield care center at Chicagoland?
Yes. I was actually I was not a part of the big part of the wreck there. Luckily, I didn't go too high into the air. I just kind of slid around a lot. If you don't know what we're talking about the Chicagoland USORL Red Bull Cup Series race that occurred last Saturday. Broadcasted on JTN.
Pause this. Open a new tab. In that tab, youtube.com/JoeTowNetwork. Or it might be on the right side of your screen. I mean, if you're a loyal JTN fan, it probably recommends it to you. So
it's important to watch these things because they're good broadcasts. With two good broadcasters, might I add.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two good broadcasters.
What a tough race. What an absolutely mentally demanding race. Genuinely.
I liked it. Tommy and I really liked watching it because
it was
you guys had it. I know y'all, after the race, I always go in and talk to them after we're done broadcasting and, say, oh, thanks, guys, and all that, because, I'm thankful. And I don't know what else to continue that statement, but here we go. And a lot of them were complaining about tire heat, it sounded like, which I know sounded like it was really bad, but just saying, put on good racing, and it looked like you guys actually had a struggle out there on track, which, a lot of weeks in NR, people seem to think we should just grip up the tracks, run full throttle for 5 to 6 laps, then start having to let off a little bit, and that kind of makes boring racing, in my opinion.
It does.
But I don't have fun with those races, right? Look, it's track position. Oh, I'm out front. Okay, I won. I felt like you guys could actually move up and down the field.
You're right. It was I think we could have done with less tire heat and still had as good a race as we had because the tire wear was still a big deal.
Less, but
I don't think you disagree with that. I'm just saying because it was frustrating because the tires would start to heat up really early into a run, and you had to be really smart about when you started to go. Especially because of some of the characteristics in the track. There was a big bump in turn 3, for example, where if your tires were hot already, it just upset the car and it would throw the back end out, which doesn't have to be a big deal, but when your tires are hot, they're already starting to lose grip, and it would just cause a lot of cars to spin out or get up into the wall. So, case in point, or whatever, not case in point, but long story short, it was a really demanding race. I got loose and almost spun it like 3 times. Got up into the wall a lot. It was tough dodging the wrecks, going up and down the field, ending up at the back, yeah, it was tough. That is exciting to watch. Finally got up to the front at the end, though.
It was one of the more exciting 1.5 mile races we've had on broadcasting. Because you had 4 or 5 guys that were the fastest guy at different times in a run or different times during the race. You were fastest at one point. Aaron was fastest. Jeff was really quick as the runs went on throughout the night, which was really shocking to see Darren even get a shot at him going into 3 and 4 on that last lap. I don't know if it was because Jeff made a mistake or maybe he ran the tires or Darren. I think part of it too was you guys had to cool your tires off, which I think is something kind of cool. You can, I didn't make a successful run. Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit, cool off a little, try to make another charge. Anyways, now what
I agree with you.
Yeah. But there were a bunch of different guys. Cam was really fast.
Yeah.
They were just fast.
Yeah.
They're just fast throughout the race, and that just comers and goers always makes a race.
That's true, because I didn't really get up front up until the very end, really. I got up front at the very, very end.
And then Tommy saw you up front, and he just started oohing and ahhing at that number 75 martini machine. I mean, he gushes about you. You really got to talk to him.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like, oh man, that's my boy, Davey Hazard. I said during the broadcast, Tommy, who's your favorite driver? He said me. And we talked about this off camera, but he's like, I'm my favorite driver. I'm like, okay, Tommy, you knew what I meant. And then it's you, Davey. Just so you know.
Tommy is what Tommy is.
Tommy's a fanboy.
Yeah.
And he can't defend himself right now, so that's the best part.
It's true.
Got him.
Anyway, end of that race was something too.
It was a fun time. And they're always a fun time here on JTN. And if you're not subscribed to JTN, you need to hit subscribe to JTN. If you made it this far through the podcast, congratulations. You're getting to all the ads now because we always put them at the end, so I'm sure people skip them. But hey, what are you gonna do? I gotta sell some merch. I gotta get you to hit the subscribe button. Hit like on the video. You'll get notifications every time we go live if you hit that little notification bell. I mean, that's the perfect way.
Comment on the video.
Yeah, seriously.
Comment on the video.
We make a tier maker video. We make some that I did not agree with, but I went along with it, and then I got no support.
Yep. Make a comment on the video. I had a bunch of people come in and talk to me. They talked to me in the Discord, talked to me on Facebook, on TeamSpeak. Put a comment in the video. It helps us out. It really does.
Do it.
It does. It helps us out.
You won't. You're scared.
You hear about the algorithm. You hear about the algorithm. You hear about the algorithm. Joe, you hear about the algorithm,
right? You do.
Commenting, what does that do?
Helps the algorithm so people will actually watch our videos more. Because there's only so much we can do, folks. I mark it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I try.
I retweet.
Davey does.
Hashtags, I think. I think you gotta use hashtags.
I do use hashtags, and
You do. Do you use hashtag NASCAR?
I do. Of course.
Okay, good.
Always.
Good. And putting NASCAR
in the title helps.
Has helped.
Hey,
has helped. That's what I'm saying. And you know what? There's no shame. There's no shame in a clickbait title, especially if it's technically true.
There's no shame in a clickbait title here on the Fake Racers podcast.
If anyone wants to say we sold out, duh. Come on.
We sold out. We're trying to sell out of that beautiful Fake Racers podcast merch that Davey's got on right there on your screen.
Dude, I still gotta get some stickers. I gotta get some stickies.
That's okay.
Because it's almost racing season, so I'm gonna be going. I'm gonna go to Daytona for something. I don't know what yet, but I'm gonna go to Daytona for something, and I'm gonna slap one down. And I'll put a picture. You guys, if anyone that I know goes to Daytona, or anyone that watches this goes to Daytona,
or any track,
those are really big overlapping Venn diagram. But go look for the sticker or get one yourself and go
Put
slap
it up
it
at your
somewhere.
track. I mean, wear a merch to the races if you want. That would be fantastic.
I
if you
absolutely
did.
will.
And then people, hey, what's that? And you go, hey, let me tell you about something really cool. The JoeTowNetwork on YouTube, JTN. People don't call it JoeTowNetwork, they call it JTN. And I know why, because it's like a cringy name, but hey,
JTN
flows
rolls
better.
off the tongue though. It
Yeah,
flows.
whatever.
Like JTN's good. JTN's good.
Whatever.
I feel like you should do the thing where like it doesn't actually stand for anything anymore. It should just be JTN.
I can't because there's already a bunch of JTN pages.
But like it doesn't have to be JoeTowNetwork, you know, it can just be JTN.
Baby.
You know?
Who's on
I
every
feel
piece
like
of content produced on JTN?
the JTN staff and
That's
CEO,
right. Bristol back there. Look at him. He's adorable.
cameraman and producer.
Yeah,
and
he's doing a really good job holding the camera right now.
Multi-talented dog producer.
Well,
Bristol.
Adam. Tired.
This is the kind of content you don't get with other podcasts.
This is the kind of content you get when you stick around at the end of the podcast.
Audio podcast, I'm sorry.
Audio podcast must be having a fun time right now. I mean, watch it on YouTube. You know, but you know, audio podcast is a great way to.
If you skip to the end, if you look at the time where your Spotify podcast is right now, and you skip to that time in the YouTube video, you'll see what we're talking about.
Exactly. But again, links are in the description of the YouTube video to follow our Twitter, to like our Facebook page, which more of you need to do. Both of those things, because come on, guys, there's 433 subscribers and those pages aren't even over 100. What are we doing?
It's true.
It hurts. It hurts my heart. Share it with your friends. We appreciate that. We got a lot of people sharing. You know, we appreciate you guys doing that so much for us here. Davey, where can they find more information about you?
You can find me on Twitter at Davey Hazard, on Instagram at D7H5, and on Twitch I've been trying to stream more at D7H5er with an ER at the end.
He's been streaming Jeopardy too, so that's a fun time, and you'll see a lot of cast of characters on there.
I've been streaming Jeopardy, Rocket League,
Wreckfest.
Wreckfest kind of died out for some reason, but if I play Wreckfest again, I'll stream it.
There you go.
If JTN isn't broadcasting a race, I am.
Like this Saturday.
That's right. You're not doing the Roval, huh?
No, because road courses are terrible to try to broadcast.
Sad days.
I don't have spotters all the way around the track.
True. Sad days. Gotta get Ricky on there. Gotta get Ricky and.
Can you imagine Ricky and Tommy in the booth at the same time? One of these days, I'm gonna be like, okay, I need you both because I'm gonna be sick or something. I'm gonna not have a voice, and I'm gonna be like, I need you both to do the broadcast. I don't know what to tell you. I need you to do it, and it's gonna be a wonderful time.
Yeah, that's really funny. It'd be funny to see because I feel like Tommy would probably lead that broadcast.
Yeah, I'd have Tommy lead it for sure.
And then you would probably just do like the
cameras and replays,
producing stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
It would be a fun time.
It's kind of like what when FTF did their Daytona 500 in 2019. Joe Allen was like doing all the replays and all the other back end stuff, and then Blake McCandless, I think, and David Schildhouse were doing commentary. It could work.
Oh, it works. I know it works. It's just it's unnecessary because I can just do stuff. And
well, I mean, like if it comes down to Tommy, Tommy Ricky do it.
Yeah,
could work.
Yeah, no, I know, but a little insider into the JTN production meeting we have every so often here.
Our big meetings at our conference table.
Yep, look at our conference table.
Hmm?
Look at it. You're part of it.
I'm still waiting on the day we do one of these in the same. In the same room.
Well, you're gonna be waiting for a while because we're still in the pandemic. But thank you so much, everybody.
I know. I'm literally sick with COVID. What do you mean?
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it as always. Thank you to those that listened on Spotify or all the different podcast platforms we're on. I don't even know what they're all called. I'm really good at this thing. But Spotify is the main one, so we appreciate you for all that you do to help us again, head over to our Twitter. That's honestly, I want to build that one. So go hit follow, retweet us, retweet it to your friends. And you can stay up to date with JTN. That's probably the best way to do it is Twitter and Facebook. So do that for all of us here at JTN. Davey, you got anything else?
Thank you for listening if you made it this far. If you have a comment on anything, comment on a YouTube video, please.
Or add us on Twitter at JTN.
Add us on
or
Twitter.
at JoeTowNetwork, I think, because
comment on a
JTN was
YouTube
taken.
video. Subscribe, follow the podcast, follow JTN, do all the fun stuff.
Follow Davey Hazard.
It's nice. You don't have to follow me. I mean, I would like
him.
you to.
You should.
I'd like you to.
He has
but
more
you
hot
don't have
takes.
To.
He has
JTN,
more hot takes.
Oh, I do have more hot takes. You will have more emotion going me. But thank you if you've listened. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being here. Thank you for wearing a mask because I know you are, because I trust you. And we will see you next time.